Good morning, Ava.
Well, good morning, Abby. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. After
That's-
last night,
Yes, it was a very lovely night, wasn't it?
it
We
was great. We had so much fun.
spent the most wonderful evening together.
Yeah, we got to go to Bath together.
Indeed, indeed.
It was fun.
That was
Yeah,
a superb night.
the most fun you can have with your clothes on, I think.
Absolutely,
And our clothes
absolutely.
were on.
They were on
They
all
were
the
on.
time.
Let's not
All the
start
time.
yet another rumour, because it's not true.
It's not true. It's not true.
But hello, good morning.
Good morning, viewer.
Yes, or maybe two. Maybe two.
We may have even got up to 3 after the last one because it was quite good.
Well, we had a lot of fun.
We had loads of fun.
We did.
And I think that's what really matters, isn't it?
At the end of the day, the biscuits were good, the tea was great, the company was awesome. What else could we want?
What more could we want?
Viewers.
Viewers.
We
Lots
could
of
want viewers.
That's what we want. We want more viewers. Share the podcast.
Oh, that is shameless.
That was shameless. And nothing if not shameless.
Well, it has been said.
And cheap.
I didn't say
sorry,
that.
not cheap. Affordable.
Yes, that's totally different.
Totally different thing. Should we start as we mean to go on, dear?
I think we should.
Let's caffeinate.
Let us. Shall I be mother?
Yes, please.
It is my forte, isn't it?
It is indeed. You do it so well.
Let's ask my kids for a view on that. If we poll my children, I think they'll go, she was not great. Good at making cakes, though. And I feel like that's half the battle.
Absolutely. That's half the battle with not just children, anyone I find.
Yeah, except diabetic people.
And gluten intolerant people.
No, I can do a flour-free cake. I use mashed potato instead of flour.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
okay.
it's quite good. But yeah, not people on diets.
No, not at all.
No. I've tried to make a keto version of a lemon and poppy seed cake.
How did that go?
It was really nice. And what I didn't know is when you use coconut flour, it desiccates the person you feed the cake to. Literally just sucks all of the moisture out of them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was weird to see someone who was previously healthy just turn into a kind of dry husk. It's a great murder weapon.
It's fantastic.
Yes. Anyway, lessons learned.
Yes.
Did you lump me? I didn't know.
I did lump you, yes, dear.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
I automatically lumped you.
Well, I'm not sweet enough. Cheers.
I disagree there, but cheers.
Oh my goodness. So what are you up to later?
What am I up to later? Well, it's very exciting later. I'm off to the Black Mountain Comedy Festival in Crickhowell.
Is it a Black Mountain?
It's an area known as the Black Mountains. There's mountains, and we're in Wales, so there's a good chance that there's a bit of black murkiness going on.
Little slaty.
Yeah, a little bit slaty, a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't actually give it the kudos it deserves, does it?
It's a magnificent sight.
Yeah.
It is a magnificent sight to behold, especially when you're driving up the Heads of the Valleys roads and that. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful area. I haven't been up that way for a while, so I'm looking forward to it.
Heads of the Valleys?
Well, not so much Heads of the Valleys. I've been across the road since they've actually pretty much finished the roadworks. That's a bonus.
Does your sat-nav know about it?
It does.
Mine doesn't.
It does. Luckily, mine is through Google Maps.
Yes, that may be my mistake.
Or as I like to call it, the comedian's best friend.
I need to get better at this.
Although, as you will testify, last night on the way to Bath, when it kept disconnecting, reconnecting, and re-warning us about Storm Chandra possibly affecting our journey.
As Google Maps was affecting our journey.
Google Maps was the dodgy cable in my car was affecting our journey. That was the problem.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
But yes, I'm very much looking forward to later on.
Good.
MC'd by the wonderful Mike Reed.
That's always a treat.
Is always a treat. And I cannot remember the full lineup, but I know there is the lovely Carly O'Connor.
Okay,
Always
also
lovely
always a
Carly.
treat.
Always a treat.
And educational.
Absolutely.
And
She's
nutritionally
nothing.
valuable.
Yes, definitely. We have, who else is on there? Gareth Morris is on there.
Oh, always fun.
And
cultural as well, because he's very musical.
Indeed, and possibly the token English person on the bill. So that's always,
I'm glad
that's a tick in the box for diversity.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. And the lovely Paul James headlining.
Oh, okay. It's going to be super fun.
It's going to be super fun. I cannot remember. Apologies in advance, but cannot remember who's opening now. But there is someone else on the bill who I don't know.
Okay.
So
but soon you will address that.
I'll address that, of course. But you know me, as I either know people or I haven't got a clue who they are. There's no middle ground.
I haven't got a clue who I am, so
it's a truth.
You have to keep reminding me. So that's why I have to work in the NHS, because at least I had a badge that would tell me.
That always helps.
Yes. And also my workplace was always signposted. But then signpost me home, though. Got lost a lot. I know, so mean. So mean.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, your day sounds better than mine.
What excitement have you got planned for the day?
I've got to go to the dentist.
Oh, no.
And you know something? I think there should be a rule about dentists and gynecologists and gastroenterologists that they are not allowed to be sexy. But my dentist is very sexy, and this creates sort of dissonance in my head. In fact, last time I went to the dentist, I came home and said to my partner, he said, "How did it go?" And I said, "He's the second favorite man who's got his fingers in my mouth."
I had a similar experience.
You did?
With a nurse. Not quite the same way.
You put her fingers in your mouth?
No. It wasn't my mouth. So,
okay.
Now, I had to go I elected to go for a small procedure. My special gift to myself for my 40th birthday.
Right.
It's a procedure they don't want to do unless you're over 40 and definite that you don't want kids. I think I've outlined it well enough and coloured it in without actually saying what it is. No.
Slightly further south.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little way further south. So, they prep you. They give you this tablet to take, whatever, beforehand, and you wait an hour. And
then you put her fingers in your mouth.
Well, no, but you make the assumption it's just going to be a doctor, fiddle about, do what he's got to do, boom, all done.
Yes.
Apart from the fact that you're all there ready and, all presented, ready to be...
do you have to assume the position?
Sort of lie back and hope for the best kind of thing.
Well, yes.
That is the position
sneeze.
most of the time. Definitely don't sneeze or cough. And then he's all ready, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, someone else walks in the room and like, oh, this is the nurse. She'll be assisting.
Okay.
So she's doing all the manual part of the procedure. And I was like, really? This may not bode well. Luckily it did. The tablet they gave me did what it was supposed to do and completely relaxed me. So that was a good thing. But yes, that could have gone terribly wrong.
Well,
because she was a very attractive nurse.
Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it? As ladies, we don't face that problem.
No.
We can really fancy someone and no one knows. Sometimes we don't even know.
True.
Anyway, would you like a morning knob? But I do have these. I think are white chocolate and raspberry. One every 5 a day. These are just purely chocolate.
I'm not even going to pretend to be healthy today, and I'm going for a pure chocolate hit.
Okay, well, I think they're quite nice.
I'm sure they will be.
Yes.
You haven't yet served me a dud biscuit.
The day is still young.
Oh, maybe
it could
one
happen.
day. Maybe one day.
Happen. I'm going to go for a raspberry one.
Yes.
Just so I can pretend that I'm nodding towards health.
Yeah.
Oh, it is quite nice.
Very chocolatey.
Mm. My mum always told me don't talk with food in your mouth, you know. In fact, she said don't talk when there's something in your mouth. Which is why it's hard to tell him to stop.
That's it. That's a very, very good rule for life, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but quite, it doesn't always work in my favour.
Mm. Although I suppose if you can't talk, turning blue and making gargling noises is a good indicator.
Apparently, that just means
Sometimes.
that you're having fun to some people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not
Maybe
me, though.
Not you.
For clarity. For clarity. If I should ever turn blue and make a gargling noise, I'm not enjoying it.
I'll bear that in mind.
Thank you.
Bear
I
that in
appreciate
mind.
it.
So viewers, please look out. If Ava starts turning blue during the podcast, she's really not enjoying it.
Oh, you need to warn me.
What's the fun in that? Oh, so viewers, Ava is about to turn blue. I think she is choking on a white chocolate chip and a piece of raspberry.
Oh, yes, I think it was the tea that got me.
Absolutely. Are you okay now? Composed?
I'm fine.
Composed.
It's tears. It's okay, I've got the good mascara on. It's fine.
Oh, that's right then. That's right.
Yeah, you have to save it. You can't use it all the time.
No.
Sometimes you have the cheap, nasty stuff.
Yeah, I've layered up today. I've got 2 layers of mascara on and a
It's
third
looking good.
to follow later.
Yes,
I thought I'd prep myself for tonight as much as possible and just spray as much fixing stuff on my face as possible.
I'm not sure that stuff works.
It does to a point. Some of them are pretty good. I will say, and this is an old drag queen trick that does work for definite, is hairspray.
Oh.
You do end up with a face full of hairspray.
Well, that sounds unpleasant.
Not the most pleasant. Can be a bit stingy too, but that does work. You do your makeup, get the hairspray over there. Comes again.
Did you see MasterChef the last season, which had Ginger on it?
No.
So Ginger's a drag queen, and she had the most incredible makeup. And everybody else is cooking in the kitchen and sweating and running around and being all stressed. And she was also running around and being all stressed. That makeup stayed where it was meant. And she was wearing a wig. Unbelievable. I would pay good money to know how she gets that done.
Well, the makeup side is almost definitely hairspray.
Yeah.
To keep it fixed. Because you can imagine drag queens, bars, hot, sweaty, dancing about, whatever. And it keeps it in place. It's fantastic. Although that said, luckily I've left my wig wearing era far behind me.
No need.
Yes, people, this is real, and I actually do this by choice. I know, right? But yeah, that could be hideous. But luckily, I had good friends who used to go out with, and every now and again they'd be like, "I slipped a bit. Oh, it's a bit far back. I can see your real hair." So, I had people who would wig watch for me. That was handy.
Yeah, I went to a 40th once, and it was 70s themed. And they had a bunch of different wigs, and we did a bit of a pub crawl. So one of the girls had a big afro, which is fine. She totally rocked it. Bell-bottomed flares, danced the night away with her afro. She looked great. She went to the ladies' room in this very busy place. I went to the ladies' room after her, and the seat was covered in curly black hair.
I found that to be a common theme in a lot of pubs, but
oh yeah,
they're not always longer hairs.
No, these were short and curly.
Okay, maybe she really committed to the role and went full afro.
Well, I only found out the year after that she'd realised there were these hairs, and she thought, "Oh, someone's going to think something," so she did a bit of this. She's always been one to embrace the joke. Absolutely. She's wonderful.
One must.
Yeah.
One must.
Yeah.
So yes, we've had a rather fun week, haven't we?
We've been busy.
We've had a busy little week so far.
Yes, yes.
It's like 3 days in a row of us putting up with each other as well.
Soon we're going to have a fight.
I think we might. Just
Who will win, though? Depends on the fight. If it's thumb wrestling,
yeah,
me. Arm wrestling, not me.
Okay.
Any other sort of fight. If it's a verbal slanging match, maybe me. If it's roasting, definitely you.
I like the way we've gone with some of the more passive forms of combat there. It's
I don't like
it's
mud.
important.
I don't like mud at all.
What about a paddling pool full of custard? It's a dream of mine.
I think we shall move on to what else we've been up to.
Let's do. So yeah, Tuesday night we hosted our first openly savage open mic, didn't we?
We did, and we were
No Site.
openly savage.
We were. It was fantastic. A really nice night. We had a couple of very new people, didn't we? We had someone doing their very first, really, really good. And we had someone doing their second or third, who was also good.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of the more seasoned veterans of the circuit.
That's what you call me when you're just trying to say you're a bit salty.
I wasn't referring to you. Yeah. I was, of course, referencing the lovely Rob Leonard. And,
he was so good.
And Tom Kennedy and Ben Pugh.
Also so good. All of them. They were just, this is a night that you go and see these actually really funny guys and girls.
Yes, of course.
But you can just turn up at a little place in Swansea. In fairness, you had to swim there. It was a bit soggy. But what a lovely venue. It's No Sign Wine Bar. Lovely venue. You can see these delicious plates of food being carried out. It's Tuesday night in the howling rain. The rain wasn't howling. The wind was howling. The rain was just wetting everybody, for clarity.
Horribly.
And these big trays of food were going out to these people because it's just such a nice place to be. There's no parking, really, that's that convenient, but people are still in there on a soggy January Tuesday night.
You walk in there on a weekend, it's so busy during the daytime.
Climbing over people.
Food coming out all over the place. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And great food, too.
Yeah, fantastic place. The staff were awesome. We had somebody got a little out of hand, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We had a bit of a problematic, it wasn't even an audience member, just someone who randomly wandered through and decided to take exception to...
My very inoffensive joke. My joke was, my daughter, who's 15, who's a bit brutal, as we've previously established, and she said to me, you know what, Mum, people can see right through you. And I said, well, that's great, because I'm identified these days as transparent. And then he said, that's because you don't believe in transgender.
Which, I love stuff like that, when you get someone who gets the wrong end of the stick completely, and then was confronted by myself.
An instantly furious Abby.
Yes. How to make me go from 0 to 60 very quick.
I didn't know whether to warn him he got a tiger by the tail at that point, because I thought I'd just rather see the bloodbath. Hello, do you want to try some?
I'm trying my best to cut down on bloodbaths now.
Good girl. Well, professionally, I think it could damage the size of our audience if we keep killing them.
Indeed. He wasn't audience technically, though, so...
No.
And I think, maybe it's got a certain curb appeal of, will they kill someone tonight? Will they not? Let's go and see.
Yeah, but like we've said before, we don't have a digger anymore.
True.
And we're just not committed enough to dig a hole manually.
It's very much like the ice hockey. I'm a big ice hockey fan.
Yeah.
And, I love going to watch it no matter what. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy the sport. However, the enjoyment of a hockey game is magnified tenfold by a bloody good fight.
Yeah. Literally on the ice or in the bleachers.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
So, the layman's guide, the layperson's guide to ice hockey, you've got 6 foot plus giants on knife shoes.
Yes.
With big sticks and lots of body armor and helmets.
Yes.
Beating the living tar out of each other. What's not to love? There is so much
No, I
skill
can't think of anything.
involved in playing the game in the first place. And then when you see these guys drop their gloves and beat the living snot out of each other on ice skates, that's next level.
Well,
That is
yes.
next level.
Are they graceful while doing this?
Oh, absolutely. They're usually gripping each other and slowly rotating around in a circle as they're pummeling the snot out of each other. It's brilliant. It's so much fun.
Snot everywhere.
Snot everywhere.
It's not
Indeed.
nice.
It's not nice at all. Oh dear.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's.
I suppose it's a similar appeal to rugby.
Yes.
Although being a Welsh rugby fan is a big test of loyalty.
It is.
It's been a long, hard slog for us.
I must confess that I fell out of love.
Careful.
I did fall out of love
Careful.
with rugby. But then, dare I say, between comedy, ice hockey, and everything else, I kind of don't have a lot of time for extra sporting activities in my life. That's the best way to put it.
That's very boundaried of you.
And also a previous girlfriend. All my previous girlfriends have been big rugby fans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, not. I wasn't ending the sentence on the word big. That would be very naughty of me. So they're big.
They were all
fans.
beautiful. All of
they
them.
were all lovely.
Yes.
To a point. And they're all rugby fans. One in particular from the Neath Valley sort of area, brought up on a diet of rugby,
Yes.
as they are. And I've known no one scream the house down like her during a rugby game if things are not going her way or not going Wales's way. To the degree that we couldn't even, some girlfriends in the past would be like, right, let's go down the pub, watch the rugby. Everyone's chanting and cheering and booing and complaining and whatever and calling the referee various choice names. We couldn't do that.
No?
Because she would make so much more noise than anyone else in the venue that it would get to a point where you'd be like looking for the ground to swallow you up a bit. So we had to watch it from the comfort of our own home. Her kids used to either lock themselves in the bedroom with headphones on or go out with their friends for a couple of hours because they knew, especially depending on who we were playing, the chances of us getting a royal stuffing, as it were, not in that way. And they knew when it would be safe to return to the house, if it would be safe to return to the house.
Yes.
They'd be checking their phones. They'd know the score.
Yes.
So they'd know if it was safe to walk in the room.
Yes. Oh. Well, people get really, they do get really overexcited about it. And it's a wonderful thing, sport, art, all of these things, because what happens is I think it helps us create a little bit of an identity. I'm so proud to live in Wales. I wasn't born here, as you know. I was born in Africa, and I love Africa, obviously, but this is my home.
Yeah.
I'm enormously proud to be someone who supports Wales, who lives in Wales. It
identifies
is,
as well.
Yeah, I identify as a Welsh person now, almost exclusively. I have this different background, but this is my country.
My dad is a Geordie. He's from Newcastle originally. And he has lived here many, many years. And I remember a long time ago, people would ask my dad where he was from. He's not accented at all. He's got no accent. He moved away from Newcastle when he was about 18. He was in the RAF. And of course, with the forces particularly, I've noticed it more so with the RAF, very neutral accent. People don't have strong accents unless they're Scottish, usually. More often than not, it's very neutral. And people would be like, "Oh, where are you from?" And he would always say he was Welsh. And I questioned him at one point, and he said, "Well, I've lived here long enough. I love Wales. I hate the English. I feel I can identify as Welsh."
That is quite traditional, to be fair.
Absolutely.
We don't, though.
Not at all.
We
not at
hate
all.
no one
We hate no one.
except Tories.
Well, there are some people.
And
Reform.
reform people.
Yeah.
We don't like them.
But mostly, we don't.
Sensible
we don't
people.
hate. Yeah.
People who aren't bigots.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite inclusive, really.
Yeah. And yeah, we proved our inclusivity last night. We worked with English comedians.
We did
who
work
were
with English comedians.
Tremendous.
Oh, they were all so good.
Actually wonderful. That was our little trip to Bath with our little savage takeover of the Big Squash.
Yeah, it was savage.
Big thanks at this point to the lovely Keen Tugwell who hosts the Big Squash
and
every week.
Such a good sport because I did roast him a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. Just lightly.
Slightly. I accused him of having a smelly belly button. For clarity, he doesn't have. I don't know. I haven't checked.
As far as we know.
There are no rumours. There's no substance to the accusation.
Absolutely.
It was...
Absolutely.
Hello, baby.
He was just a victim of circumstance.
Do you want some?
That's what it came down to. We're joined again by Luna. If you're wondering what entity Ava is feeding under the table.
Yes, I haven't quite started that level of delusion yet, but the day is still young.
Well, absolutely, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, tremendous night. Just want to name check everyone actually who was on the bill last night because they were fantastic.
They did themselves so proud.
We had the wonderful Jeannie Vowles, who's a very good friend of mine. Love her to bits.
She's so energetic.
She's bonkers, isn't she? I told you beforehand.
You did.
She's completely mad in a good way.
She is.
We love you, Jeannie. I'm doing this specifically because she assured me last night that she has been watching the podcast with her housemates. So, big name check, big love to Jeannie. And also then we had Holly Leggett.
Yeah, she was so good.
She's so good, isn't she? She's fantastic. She does a lot in Jesters in Bath. If you're on the Bath comedy scene at all or around it or get a chance to go to anything, there's a good chance she's going to be on it. Go see her. She's fab. We had Olivia Green, who well, I was going to say came down from Swansea. She's in Newport now.
Okay.
She just bought a new place in Newport, but
nice.
Again, fantastic from the Welsh contingent.
Yes.
And Sophie Litherland, who is utterly wonderful.
So clever.
So clever. Actually, proper clever. Works with radioactive materials in the University of Bristol.
But the way she makes that funny is just masterful. I thought she was incredibly clever.
The first time I ever saw her, we were doing just little 5-minute spots at the end of the Funny Women Glitter Project session. The first time I went, and she was there with a book, and she said, "I'm not going to do a set today. I'm going to read some poetry." And she'd written like some haikus and various things. Utterly magnificent. I was just sat there in awe of her completely bonkers haikus.
Do you know what I thought was incredible? One of the other comedians had talked about making banana bread. Okay. So, and that was very funny and very cleverly crafted. Sophie then used that to make jokes about how many pieces of banana bread it would take to actually kill somebody, and literally did the calculation right there in front of us.
Yes.
So good for somebody to be able to make something that funny that quickly. It's just true talent, isn't it?
It's incredible. It's so good.
Just good. Anyway, you missed a brilliant night. Should have all been there.
And we also had Molly.
Yes, Molly.
I've forgotten your surname, Molly. I'm so sorry. It'll come back to me in an opportune moment later on, I'm sure. But Molly was utterly wonderful. I could quickly look on my phone.
Yeah,
double
I'll
check.
distract everybody
You
while you do
distract
that.
everyone. Don't let them know. Molly Kinsey,
Yeah,
that was
there you
it. Molly
go.
Kinsey, she was utterly wonderful, and Christina G as well, who's
Yes.
great. I believe I'm going down to see in a couple of months. I'm going down to do one of her gigs.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
that would be lovely. She's
Yes.
absolutely fab.
Frames
And-
motherhood beautifully.
And you headlining for us.
I
Closing
did.
the
I
show. It
didn't
was
even
wonderful.
fall over.
You didn't fall over, and you demonstrated a previously hit.
Secret?
Should I say hidden talent? They're not that hidden, really. But Ava's incredible built-in mobile phone holder did the job last night. It was perfect. One member of the audience, there's a chap came up afterwards and said, "My favourite bit of the whole night was when you balanced your phone on your boob," which goes to show that not all audiences are highbrow.
No, and indeed, I'm not always that highbrow. I pretend. I do pretend. I have to. I think for somebody who has to tell everybody that they're classy as often as I do, they're probably not that classy.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think if you have to label something like polite notice, if you're saying polite notice, it's probably not that polite.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Or salubrious place in Swansea.
Yes.
If you've got to call it that, it's probably not that salubrious.
No. But it's a lovely name, isn't it?
It's a great name.
Wonderful name.
And you hardly ever get mugged there, so I suppose. Yeah. It works on some levels.
It works. I think we should have another cup of tea, and we'll be back after the break.
See you in a minute. Cheers.
Cheers, lovely.
Thank you. Yes, to you too.
I think I'm going to indulge in my one of my 5 a day now.
Oh, good for you. They are quite nice. The dog likes them as well. Yeah, so I was thinking, on Tuesday we had some people who were very brand new.
Yes.
And one person in particular, they'd come to the night and they just wanted to watch other people. And then I said, "Are you going to go for it?" And he said, "Oh, no, I do have some stuff, but I don't think I'm going to." And I said to him, "So this is the brilliant thing about open mics. They're often tiny audience, but well attended by comedians."
Yes.
Which means you've got a group full of people who have a common goal with you. And they are so kind as audience members. And they will always tell you what you did well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are nasty enough to tell you what you didn't do well, but sometimes that's quite helpful. But, this chap, he got up and he delivered a really fantastic set that he'd obviously worked on really hard, had sound material. His delivery was great. He's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
And to see people, that's such a delight, isn't it? When you see people grow over time. And some of them start off like this, really strong, and you think, oh, that's somebody that's going to do incredibly well. I don't know if you know, but Dewi Thomas, he did his first stand-up at my studio gig.
Oh, wow.
And he asked me for 5 minutes. But Dewi's been presenting, and he's been on cruise ships, and he's a singer and an actor and all of these things. He's got a really solid background.
CV, isn't he?
Yeah, he asked for 5 minutes, and he did 5 minutes. I laughed my ass off the whole way through. And I said to him, I would book you now for a middle and shortly for an opening 15, if you've got 15 minutes. I said to him, have you got 10 minutes? He goes, yeah. And I booked him straight away for a paid gig. And, but not everybody's like that. And again, he has this back.
I'm just interjecting. You can see Dewi Thomas performing the middle spot tomorrow night at the Ship Hotel in Barry.
Oh, that's going to be a treat.
That's going to be an absolute treat.
He is also very beautiful. All the ladies love Dewi, all of them.
They do.
They do. He'd turn anybody. He would. I've heard that said.
Not me.
No? No. Well.
Yeah, he is lovely. I can understand.
That's a low failure rate.
That is a low failure rate.
Yeah, he's got some amazing.
I'm sure it's not going to bother him.
I think he'll be devastated. I think he will be devastated. He will get over it in time. He's strong and resilient.
Absolutely.
And spoken for.
Indeed.
With his lovely lady. So Yeah, there are some people that are like that. They just burst onto the scene, and you just look at this person, you go, that is a really amazing talent. There's some people who are quietly glorious for a long time, and then suddenly you realize how good they are.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are slow burners. And all of these is cool. All of this is fine. You don't have to follow somebody else's path or somebody else's timeline. No. But the really important thing is that you're better than you were the last time.
Yes.
Yeah. You know? And the only way you're going to know that is if you record your set.
100%.
Yeah.
I was told that pretty much from the start. I was quite fortunate at some of the early ones. My very first comedy gig was recorded by Paul Dennis. He recorded everyone and sent us links to download our sets, which was great.
He's very generous like that.
Yeah, and I've still got that 5 minutes somewhere.
Yeah. He recorded my first ever set as well.
Oh, wow.
I know. Yeah, thanks, Paul.
We have so much in common.
We've got Paul in common anyway.
Absolutely.
That sounded so strange.
So even my first open mics, the guys who run, big shout out at this point to Sparkplug Open Mics, who run a variety of nights, every other Wednesday and every other Thursday in between those Wednesdays in Academy Espresso bars in Cardiff and Barry. And they did one on the first Sunday of the month in the Horse and Groom in Cowbridge. Utterly fantastic. Carlos and Reese, lovely guys, very, very talented musicians. And they do a lovely, inclusive, supportive open mic, mostly for music, but they welcome poetry, spoken word, comedy, anything. If someone's got talent, they want them up there. Okay. And it's such a supportive group. And they video everything through the sound desk. So you've got really clean recordings.
Oh, nice.
For comedy, not so great because you can barely hear anyone laugh.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so important early on that I had those and I was able to watch those back and go, ooh, not so good.
Yeah, and that's the really hard bit, is being objective about yourself, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
First of all, you've got to get over the cringe of hearing your own voice, which is so weird.
Still like that.
And then you've got to get over being captivated by your own performance to the exclusion of working out how other people are receiving it. Because the thing is, the stuff that we prepare for our material is stuff that we find funny.
Yes.
It's not necessarily what audiences find funny. And audiences are different as well. So sometimes something that works beautifully one place doesn't work at all somewhere else. Yeah. You know, I do really well in Bristol. For some reason, Bristol audiences are just my thing.
Yeah.
They get me. They're a bit more, I suppose, cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
They understand my references in a way that sometimes, you know, you don't get around Swansea. Sorry, Swansea. But it is the truth.
Yeah, I totally get you. I think it's difficult to hit on a set that you can perform in 3 or 4 totally different areas and get the same level of laughter. Because you will find people laugh at different things.
Yes.
So, you know, some places might not pick up on the highbrow references.
Yes.
But they'll pick up on the filth.
Yes. And, you know, corporate venues.
Yeah.
I tend to dial down the filth a lot and up things like wordplay.
Yes.
Because it's a fine dinner and people don't want to be seen to be laughing at filth. We all find it funny.
Yeah.
But you're uncomfortable laughing at something really dirty in front of your boss.
Your entrees.
Yes.
and with Pauline from finance scowling.
Pauline never laughs.
She never
She's
does.
hard work.
Never does. So, yeah, it is so important, though, and it's things you learn as you go along. You watch back those recordings, you'll remember what the audience was like, whether they were a bit more highbrow or lowbrow or whatever the sort of feel of them is. You'll remember that. But what's important is watching back to see those points that they really laughed at and see what connected. And I think for me, I think the biggest thing I've learned off videos and just tweaking performance each time. And I'll honestly say my performance changes every time. Yeah, I can look back at videos and go, I did that bit differently. That worked better. That didn't work so well.
Yes.
Yeah, I did 2 shows in Bristol the other week in one day, and for Angie Belcher. And well, the first one was for Angie. Second one was in the gaff, but Angie came to watch. And I had a little critique of her after the morning gig. And she said, one joke that always lands didn't land today because you rushed it. And I knew exactly what she was going to say because I knew when I said it that I didn't bring it out as much as I normally would. I thought, oh, that wasn't so good as normal. And that was the Meatloaf impersonator line.
Yes.
And I almost rushed it out in the morning. It just didn't hit, and the follow-up line didn't hit as much as it would.
Yes.
In the evening, I was so conscious about dialing it back and really pacing it right, delivering it right. And so even if you don't watch your video back straight away, if you've got someone there who will give you that honest feedback and say, that wasn't so good, you didn't deliver that like you normally would, or you should have done this. It's important to take that on board. You've got to be so self-aware. You've got to stop being precious about things because your set is your baby. Your material, you write, is all yours. It's so personal. You've got such a strong bond to it. But
that's a really good point. Okay. Sorry. So, yeah, one of our friends was telling us about somebody who's very new to the circuit who started to use a joke exactly as she'd been using it. And she was very affronted by this. You can understand that, you know. But the thing that I think she felt like she couldn't really challenge it because she'd been inspired by somebody else to use the line, but that person is obviously at a much different level. So it felt, she felt awkward addressing it.
Yeah.
But I witnessed this exact same person use my joke almost exactly as I use it, just changing one tiny thing about the punchline. And I'm not sure whether new comedians know that that's really discourteous. And you just mustn't do it.
Yeah, I know early on, I had a quiet word from someone about the opening joke that I use.
Yes.
And they said, I'm pretty certain that's someone else's. I don't know if you should be using that.
Yes.
I went, okay, fair enough. And I actually stopped using it. I didn't use it for about 2 or 3 gigs.
Right.
While I was doing my due diligence on it. And that ranged, for me, from Googling it to see if it was credited to anyone. Because yes, I get anal as when it comes to stuff like that. I want to know for sure, one way or another, so I know whether I can actually use it or not.
Yeah.
You know, I am that conscientious about it because I don't want to be seen
it's really
to be lifting jokes.
Yes.
So I Googled it, I checked, and it was like, oh, it's a variation on a very old theme of jokes. It was, a variation on the man walks into a pub joke. You know, there's plenty of them out there.
Yes.
And then I spoke to a couple of people, both Bristol-based, actually. One was Angie Belcher, and the other was Louise Lee.
Yes.
And Louise had seen me perform without doing that as the opening. And Angie had seen a video clip of me of that performance. And she's like, your beginning isn't as good as normal. What was the problem with your beginning? And I told her. And she we were on a Zoom call and she shook her head and was like, that's not anyone's. She said, that joke belongs to you. The way you do it, the context of it, the way it all works. You have made that your own.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. Keep using it. Do not stop using that joke. And
yes. It is a variation on a theme.
It is, absolutely.
But it doesn't belong to any specific person.
Yeah.
Well, it does now.
Yeah.
It belongs to you.
Yes. That particular variant does. But it's very much, again, being open to that feedback.
Yes.
And straight away going, oh, okay, I don't look like I've stolen something. Let me make sure. Let me do my due diligence on it. Let me do the checks. Let me run it by people. If the majority is saying, "No, that's been done before, that's someone else's," okay, fine, bin.
Yeah, or work on it.
Or
there's nothing wrong with being inspired by something, and then crafting a joke around somebody else's work. However, I mean, I've seen a TV comedian do this, where there's a story. It happened in South Africa, actually, in the 90s, where a woman who was known to somebody that I know, she had to go for a smear test, and when she went to pee beforehand, you've got to go and pee before you go in, because otherwise, nobody wants to be lying in that position with a full bladder. Yeah. So she went to pee and there was no tissue. So she grabbed a tissue out her bag. And then when she went for a smear test, the doctor fished a postage stamp out of her hoo-ha. Right. So it is a true story.
Yeah.
And it happened in the late 80s, early 90s, I think, in South Africa, to a friend of a friend. And wouldn't you just die? Oh my God. I tell this story as true as it happened to somebody that I know. And then I say, I think you'll agree that it's the most egregious waste of a stamp. And people go, oh yeah, because that's the thing about comedy, isn't it? Putting something unexpected on it.
Yes.
Because people don't expect that what I take out of that story is the loss of a stamp.
Yes.
And I said, do you know what those things cost? Like, I had a friend of mine who said to me, do you know what a stamp costs? And I thought, no, I have no idea. I know what it used to cost, 20 pence, but I don't know what it costs now. And she said to me, oh, it's cheaper to take it there yourself. And I said to her, oh, good, because I've got a letter I've got to have sent to London. Will you take it for me? And she said, oh, I don't go to London anymore. I said, why not? And she said, somebody gets stabbed in London every 45 seconds. And I said, wow, poor guy.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he leave?
How many holes has he got?
Enough, you'd say,
well,
every 45 seconds.
Off a letter, you might be able to get away 44 seconds and out of there.
Maybe, I don't know. He's not Royal Mail, but it might be. I don't know. They've got their fingers in every pie, haven't they, those royals, as it were.
Wow.
So anyway, so when I tell that story, I then put a little topper on it to make it totally my own. But I'm honest about the fact that this happened to somebody I know, didn't happen to me. And somebody did say to me, it would be funnier if you said it happened to you. I thought about that for a while, and I thought, no, I understand that it might be funnier, but it feels very inauthentic, and I don't think the audience will be with me for that story. So I tell it how it is. And I've actually got video footage of me telling that joke in 2022 in Merthyr, because that's how classy I am. Okay. And late last year, I saw a TV comedian doing 8 out of 10 cats tell that story as if it happened to her. I'm like, But actually, they did get £250 because they wrote it into Reader's Digest. So I know exactly where she got it from, And that's the thing. Part of being a really good comedian is having the audience along for the ride.
Yeah.
I will never laugh at what that woman says again because I know she's a fraud.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You'll come across someone like that where something is blatant or something that really goes against the grain for you.
Yes, and we're not saying that every story has to be true. No, that's not what we're saying. You can craft a fantasy and draw people into it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But taking somebody else's story and parading it as your own is a different thing.
Yeah. And I've spoken to people who have done, a few people who did an open mic a while back, ages ago. I won't say where or anything else. But 2 or 3 separate people who were there approached me not long afterwards and said, have you ever worked with this person? And I said, no. And they said, oh, well, they did. that particular joke that you always use. But it didn't work because of the situation of it and everything else. 2 or 3 people told me that. And I said, well, strictly speaking, I don't know if it is my joke. It's something I've said for years. I don't know if I heard it somewhere else. I don't know if it's original, unique to me. Let's be honest. There are only so many ways of describing any given situation.
Yes.
And there are so many comedians out there. If you, it's like the monkeys in a room with typewriters writing Shakespeare.
Yes.
If you give all of the comedians a piece of paper, a pen, and the same scenario, situation, subject, whatever, you will guarantee at least 2 or 3 of them will write something very close.
Yeah, because we use the same methodologies, don't we? There's the rule of 3. When you say things in threes, they're funnier.
Yeah.
There's the use of different phonetic constructs that are funnier. So
funny, like the hard consonants and things like that.
Exactly, like panties, not funny. Knickers, hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, and as people, or as English speakers, we respond in different ways to different sounds. So knowing that as a comedian, you would then craft your story using these basic rules of comedy, of timing. You know, what you were talking about, like the pregnant pause.
Yes.
You know, it's really important to build pauses in, partly because it grows your joke.
Yeah.
People think they know where you're going.
Yeah.
And sometimes you satisfy that and they go, yeah, I called that one.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go in a different direction. They go, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. And you mix it up.
And that's something you've seen me do when I've been sat listening to comedians.
Yes.
Where I will mouth the punchline.
Yes.
And, you're calling out that punchline because I think you see enough of someone's set, whether it's new material or whatever, you start to recognize the direction they're going.
Yes.
And, whether it's just boom, 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 linear, beginning, middle, end, what you're expecting joke, or if it's a narrative that takes you down that path.
Yes.
And then just before you have that little stop, that little pause, and then finish the story in a completely different direction.
Yes.
And that for me, Sarah Bridgman, I remember saying that, it's all about that involuntary reaction that causes the laugh. And that's created by coming out with something completely unexpected, completely left field or whatever. So yeah, the pause, the misdirection, everything like that. The misdirect is something I love, where you're taking someone on an obvious path to an obvious punchline.
Yes.
And you give them something completely different.
Yes. But and it's good to use those some of the time.
Yeah.
And then some of the time go exactly where they thought you were going.
Yeah.
Because the audience also likes to think they're as smart as you are.
Yeah, they like to be validated.
They do. And there's one time I was doing a gig in Llanelli and I was telling a joke. It's very derivative. 1,000 comedians out of 1,000 would think it up.
Yeah.
But I did think it up. And I said, I'm on an exercise drive. I was going to start cycling, but I can't do it anymore because I've got a flat tire. And I went to go and buy a bicycle pump. Guess how much a bicycle pump costs? It's like 30 quid. But that's inflation for you, right? It is a really cheap joke.
Yeah.
But it gets you, I tell it as part of a longer story. Okay. Yeah. And whenever I'm telling a fairly long story, I always have to pepper it around with these shorter, quick win jokes.
Yeah.
But as I was telling this joke, somebody in the audience obviously thought of what I was going to say, and he said it out loud. And he was sitting on a bar stool at the back. So I picked up the microphone and I limped over and I sat on the bar stool next to him and I said, listen, what have we said about finishing before the lady's done? And it turned into a really funny bit. But you can't always win with those kinds of jokes, but you can every so often.
Yeah, now and again you get those real wins and it's so satisfying. I I find you're right. If you're doing a big story piece, I've got a couple. One in particular, the sort of round about 10-minute pockets thing, where there's lots of subplots to it leading up to the final thing. And trying to make sure each of those has got a couple of little laughs in it and a bit of a punchline before the next section, and just constructing that as well as possible.
Yes.
Just to keep people wanting to listen and interact and everything else. And it's great. And yes, some people will know exactly where certain lines are going.
Yes.
And they will pick up on that's going to be quite obvious.
Yes.
And
they love those.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
They, like you say, they love to feel clever. They love to feel like they've come out with something that a comedian's doing, so they must be funny.
Yeah, but you can't do it every time, because by the same token, they will feel patronized.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're there to be entertained. They can't do all the work.
Yeah. So, especially when I'm doing a longer set now, my short ones are quite varied, but when you're doing a longer set, it's so nice to sort of sit back and look at it and think, I've done silly.
Yes.
I've done real life scenario stuff.
Yes.
I've done some nice, obvious, cheap jokes.
Yes.
I've done the low hanging fruit kind of stuff. I've been self deprecating. I've gone dark.
Yes, always helpful.
And just ticking off those boxes is, I've got nothing against, I wouldn't say any type of humor. There are certain types of humor that are a big no-no. But there is nothing wrong with basing yourself on being, I am a dark comedian, I am surreal, or
you can theme
absurd, or character, or whatever. But it's so nice it's satisfying when you look back and think, well, actually, that is my main style, but I've also got something a bit darker in there. I've also got some self-deprecation. I've got this, I've got that. Because out of an audience of 40 people, they're not all going to have a dark sense of humor all the time. They're not all going to have that, be drawn to someone who's being self-deprecating or telling these fantastical stories or whatever else. I think it's so important. Someone said to me before a gig, someone I work with, they were watching me at Cardiff Pride last year. There's a little group of them from work, and he's a bit of a comedy fan. He said, so what's your style? Are you, is it observational or political or absurd or whatever? And straight away I said, I don't do absurd.
No.
I don't tend to do absurd. And then, as part of my 20-minute set there, I did the moth dealer joke.
Yes.
And afterwards, he said, I need to have a word with you. He said, you don't do absurd. What is that moth dealer joke? And I said, well, actually, it's borderline true story, because I do have a moth dealer, people. I'll put up his business card in a future episode.
Is this the same guy that sells little, toad skeletons?
No, that's someone else. Another friend of mine does all that sort of thing.
Right. I bought one for my daughter for Christmas last year.
Where was that from? Do you know?
It was Port Talbot area, I think. Anyway, local. Okay. And it was posted and arrived beautifully presented, this perfect little creature skeleton.
Well, I know someone who deals in all that sort.
Oh, yeah, it might be the same person, because they are local.
They're not local to here. They're further afield.
Okay.
They're past Caerphilly way somewhere. But I can hook you up with that.
Hook me up with dead things?
And he's turned his entire house. We're sabotaging ourselves here. We've completely kidnapped this thread. He's actually turned his house into a museum of oddities and mysterious things. It's fantastic. He's got like a cabinet locked at all times with haunted dolls and stuff like that in there. He's got a wall full of Ouija boards that people have donated over the years. A little shop in the back as well. Taxidermy stuff, or you name it. Some really mad, creative, groovy stuff. It's fantastic. I highly recommend that. We just segued ourselves massively.
We did.
From our
But
stories.
part of what we're saying actually is about vulnerability and authenticity.
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes people steal that.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that I do a bit of life coaching and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the past, I used to put, I'm no good at social media management. I should be better than I am. But I would sometimes put out little things that I've found. And, I wrote a book about how I managed to get through a phase of depression. It's called Choose to Be Excellent, Even When Everything Else Sucks. Story of my life. So I do have these little things that I've learned, and they're just things, strategies, techniques that I learned through going through it. It's my lived experience. And I've put these out sometimes to share widely, and people have said to me, aren't you scared someone will steal them? And I'm like, I really hope they do, because it helped me at a time that nothing else was helping. Yeah. So if they steal them, I'm actually really happy, and that feels great.
Because they're putting it out to other people and the wider audience.
Exactly. But that was the purpose of making those, was to share it.
Yeah.
And have it out there. And if it helps anybody, then I'm delighted. My comedy that I have written, that I have suffered for, because writing new material isn't easy.
No.
I feel differently about. I feel that people should respect your intellectual property.
Yeah.
Well,
People said to me from quite early on, my mum especially, would be like, aren't you worried about people stealing your jokes and stealing your material? And I said, well, to be honest, it's not really a thing as such. Kind of is.
I think it can be.
I think it depends how personal or generic your material can be.
Yes.
Where, because of my style and the way I narrate my way through what I do, I make it all personal about me.
Yes.
So a lot of those jokes, even if they're slightly recycled and repurposed, a lot of those jokes I use in the context of my set feel like they're about me, and they don't feel like if someone took them, it would work so well, or it would have the same feel.
Yeah, because they need that authenticity to be believable.
Yeah, and you were saying about the authenticity as well. And I think, that's where some people do characters or whatever else. And for me, the most important thing when you're going up on stage is to show a degree of vulnerability, also find an aspect of you and your personality that best connects with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like with material, it's not always going to be the same thing for every audience, but you'll pick up early on whether that audience is connecting to your naivety or connecting to your situation or vulnerability or whatever else. And then you play on it.
Yeah.
You take that and you think, right, I'm going to just tweak that one up to 11.
Yes.
Because that's what this audience is connecting with and what they're buying into. And it's so important for me to get that connection with the audience. We've all got different ways of doing it. We've all got different tools. I like to hit out a few jokes early on that give permission to laugh, because
yes, that's really important.
They're very jokes that are self-deprecating. They're silly. They're making light of my situation.
It is important, isn't it, to address the elephant in the room?
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
Otherwise the elephant becomes really distracting.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, by the way, when I first started, and then I did a set in Narberth, which was ridiculous because it's got quite a raised stage. I don't know if you know the
Queen's
stage.
Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the stage is really tall and there's no step up to it. They had to go find a toolbox for me to stand on so I could get on the stage at all with my crutches. But I was a one crutch kind of girl at the time. So somebody, Stephen Evans, actually, bless him, he's a gent, pulled me up onto the stage, and I had my one stick and I had the mic in my other hand. And I was trying to do what people do, where they walk around a little bit and they engage with the audience on my one crutch with my mic. And the headliner is called Brendan, it's from Ireland. he said to me, "Your material is good." He said, "But everybody in that audience was terrified you were going to fall on your ass." And I was like, "Oh, like that was quite a possibility, actually." And he said, "Yeah, everybody could tell." He said, "People weren't listening to what you were saying. They were paying attention to the fact that they were scared you were going to fall over."
Yeah.
He said, "You don't need to do it. You can just stand still at the mic."
Yeah.
And it was brilliant because it started me thinking of it's okay to address the disability so it doesn't become a distraction. So I always, nearly always, I didn't last night, I started off talking about mental health, but I nearly always start off by talking about I'm disabled and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you're allowed to laugh at my crutches and the fact that I will often fall on my ass.
Yeah. And you so often open up with the line about I've been doing this for 4 years and the most difficult
3, actually.
3 years and the most difficult bit is standing up.
Yes.
You know, that is beautiful. That breaks the ice. It's like my meatloaf line, my Susan Boyle line, things like that.
Yes. I was given that line by
Really?
Rob Hughes, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good old Rob.
Yeah, he's a treasure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so nice. You know, we reference all the time little jokes that we're very pleased with, and followed by I was gifted that.
Yeah, well, there are some incredible comedians. And you know what we were saying about going to open mics and having a room full of comedians to support you. They are so generous with their advice on how you can make your material better. Matt Reese is another one.
Oh,
he's so
fantastic.
smart, and
Super,
he's always
super
got
brain.
little suggestions for how you can top your joke or how you can deliver it in a way that makes it funnier.
Yeah.
And Rob Hughes is one of those people. And of course, Bennett as well, always.
I've had a few messages before now off Matt after a gig.
Yes.
Either saying, that was great, or that was really good. I loved that joke. But have you thought about?
Yes.
You know, and things like that. And those little suggestions. And I always pay attention to them. I will always think them through, mull them over. My biggest thing is, does it fit? Does it fit with me and who I am and what I portray on stage?
Yes.
A lot of people have come out with bits that have been as funny or funnier than what I've said. But if I don't feel if it fits with my general feel, then I won't use it. I'll stick to what flows and what fits better. Because even though it might be less funny, it feels more authentic. So you're getting that connection and feedback.
And you might use it in a different audience or a different context.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes I do corporate gigs and we're all a bit posh, right?
Yeah.
And but sometimes I get booked for like a rugby or football club.
Yeah.
And it's utter mayhem.
Yes.
Any comedian, by the way, if you think that you're going to do your set at a rugby award dinner, you are wrong. You're not going to do your set. You have to go there with the idea that you are going to play with this audience for an hour and you just better make it funny because it's all going to be utter mayhem. I loved it though. When I went to a rugby awards ceremony, they told me I was going to be playing to sort of 30 to 40 people. They lied. There was 120 young men in the room.
You must have hated every moment.
I did have to. I stopped drooling. It was terrible. They were so lovely. And the team captain was nearly 7 foot tall. And they took team photographs and they put them up on the screen. It was so funny because they didn't even try to get his head in the photo. They just took all the others and then they just had head, shoulders, neck. It was great. It was so funny. But a real privilege to be there. But again, a real test of style of comedy. People don't think somebody like me is a natural fit for a gig like that.
Yeah.
But it's because I walked in not imagining that these people were going to sit and listen to me.
Yeah.
I realized when I got there and they were handing out pitchers of beer to every table full of 18-year-old men, this was not going to be easy.
Yeah. I had a lovely gig on Sunday night in Pontypridd.
Yes.
RCT Pride. Utterly wonderful. Fundraiser. Raised over £200, which is
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Lovely lineup of people. Some absolute wonders. I've got a shout out actually to Delith.
Yeah.
Delith Evans did a lovely job emceeing. First time emceeing.
Work.
Held it together very well. Really good. Whole array of comedians, different styles, different genres, everything going on. Cliff Fitzgerald was on there.
Okay, always
Mark
good.
Penchers,
Yeah.
great. Joe Anderton, Sam Hickman. I'm not going to name check everyone. There's about 9 or 10 of us in total. And I got to close it. And it's funny for me because people would automatically assume my natural habitat for telling jokes would be in front of an LGBT crowd.
Well, yeah,
It kind
maybe.
of stands to reason a bit. And it kind of is.
Maybe.
But I'm so used to doing whatever gigs are out there. And you can't pick and choose. If you want to get out there and do stuff, you're going to do that in front of a crowd of people in a bar in a rugby club, or a pub in the arse end of nowhere, or a bar in Cardiff or Swansea, or whatever it may be. You're not going to get set comedy audiences all the time. You're not going to get an awful lot where there's specific LGBT type gigs. I've probably done about 30, maybe less, that have been at LGBT venues or for events or whatever else. Obviously, I did a lot with the trans rights ones. So you were expecting a more varied audience. But the way I saw it was that if I can get up and do my set as is in front of a regular straight cis crowd and it go over well, if I do it in front of my home crowd, as it were, it would, I'd do it, it would go over better, but I'd also be able to put a lot more lived experience into it, which would make it an even stronger connection. And I did about 20 minutes on a Sunday night, and I went to town on it because you almost the polar opposite of the rugby club crowd. You know that you can throw those in jokes in. You can throw in all that stuff that people will relate to and connect with and everything else, and just enhance what you're doing. And there must have been chunks of my set list I left off because I was just having fun with it. I was being able to run with various subjects because I knew it wasn't going to be overkill. I think that's another important thing is, whether it's deeply personal or follows a theme or whatever, is making sure you don't hit the boredom threshold for people and don't sound like, sometimes we tread a line, don't we, as comedians, between bloody hilarious and TED Talk.
We do drop between the two. But I think we have a social responsibility as well, and we're aware of it.
Yeah.
As comedians, not all comedians. There are some comedians who are just dark, and that's fine. That's what they sell as their pattern. For a lot of us, we genuinely want people to feel better when they go home than they did when they walked in.
Yes.
Because laughter it's not the best medicine. There are other things that are probably better.
Other pharmaceuticals are available.
But it's not going to kill. Laughter can kill you. You can die laughing. Laughter is generally accepted as being fairly good for you. I think is probably the safest thing to say that doesn't need a disclaimer.
It most definitely has a positive effect on most people.
Yes, until it kills you.
Until you die laughing.
Yes. So, but until that point, I think we all as comedians really want people to love what they've seen.
Yes.
And to really engage in it and feel better when they go.
Yeah.
And that's why we do it. We genuinely want people to feel better.
Yeah.
Well, certainly I do.
Yeah, I do. I want people to leave the venue. And again, this is more specific.
Yeah, we want them to leave.
We want them to leave. No, this is more specific to the, as I call them, the regular venue.
Yeah.
I want them to leave understanding a bit more about, from my point of view, if I've gone up and done a set. I've had people approach me after gigs before saying, I have no idea about your situation and this, that, and the other, but I understand it a bit more now. I see what you're trying to accomplish. I can see where, why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And that's great to me when burly, straight 50-odd-year-old men come up to you and look terrifying before offering you their hand to shake your hand and say, that was really good.
Mm.
And nothing is more stunning that you're just taken aback a bit. Yeah. Thank you.
I had somebody come up to me after a gig. She was young, 26. And she said to me, I tell a joke about being a widow. I'm not. I didn't kill him. We're divorced. But I tell a joke that I'm a widow. And she came up to me and she said to me, I'm 26 years old and I'm a widow. I was like, I really hope that she didn't think I was being disrespectful to her. But I noticed she had laughed. And she said to me, that's the first time I've laughed since I lost my husband. I said to her, oh, God, I'm so glad you laughed and I'm so sorry for your loss. And I really am.
Yeah.
Because I know what bereavement is like.
Yeah.
And it is almost unrelenting misery for such a long time. And she said, that's the first time I've laughed. And she said, I was shocked at myself for laughing at that joke. And I said to her, it's okay to laugh. It doesn't detract from the value of the person you lost.
Yeah.
And, everybody will say stuff to you like, oh, they would want you to laugh and all that. How do you know? I didn't know the guy. I said, but I do know that you living a glorious life doesn't detract from how precious he was.
Yeah.
And then we were both standing there crying, obviously, because I cry whenever anybody else cries. Pathetic. Should have seen me when I was pregnant. I cried in the adverts for Andrex. It was a soppy, weeping mess. Went through a lot of Andrex, actually. Other toilet tissue providers are available. I don't use that now. I use the Who Gives a Crap now.
Yes, and many people I know do.
Well, it's so convenient, although you do land up with 47 toilet rolls in storage because you forgot to lay it for a few weeks.
Every now and again, we get half a box from my housemate's mum, who lives on her own and just has this standing delivery. And now and again, she'll pop around with a massive carrier bag for it.
If there's ever another pandemic, that company's going to fly.
Oh, absolutely.
Well deserved.
I think.
Is that a wrap? Now we're talking of tissue.
I don't know, but I think I might need a loo break. And possibly more tea.
Possibly.
We'll be back in a minute.
Well, good.
Right. So we're back.
Yes.
We're back.
That's good. Are you ready for some more tea?
Are we brewed, dear?
I believe we are.
I ever told you the story from when I was I must have been about 7 years old.
Yes.
Which would have made my brother 9. And we decided on a Sunday morning to do something nice for our mum and dad.
Yeah.
And make them a cup of tea in bed.
Right.
Well, we made it in the kitchen. It was cleaner.
I feel that's the best move.
So it's a great idea. Neither of us had a clue. We'd seen them go through the motions of what to do and tea bags in the pot and put the kettle on, all this sort of thing. And my brother said, well, what do we do? How do we know when it's ready? And I said, well, I always see Dad get the teapot and pour a bit down the sink. And he checks the colour of it to make sure it's green. But nothing of this, right? It wasn't until I was about 11 that I took the test in school and found out I was colourblind. But up until that point, for about 4 years of my life, my parents thought it was the funniest thing. And then they found out I was colourblind and were like, that's why you thought the tea was green. Yeah, early indications. Yes.
Yeah, my brother was colourblind as well. He was the most incredible artist. They used colours that you just wouldn't have normally used.
I have seen pictures of tattoos by a friend's brother who is also colourblind. And his tattoos, the most ridiculous, vibrant colours, same as you say that, you wouldn't expect, but they were. It's like, wow, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's really, really crazy to look at. But then, looking at it as a colourblind person, I don't know if I'm seeing what you are.
Well, none of us know, do we?
Yeah.
What I think blue is, you may not think blue is. We have no way of knowing whether other people experience the colours the same way we do.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know if there is a standard. Well, there is some degree of a standard, but with those
We
little
can't
tests with
prove
the
it.
dots and the numbers, but that just shows your perception of things
Yes.
rather than your understanding of what this colour is compared to someone else's, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
Cheers, dear.
Cheers, dear.
Can I interest you in something nutritionally irresponsible?
I think I'm going to go for the full set.
You are?
I'm going to do the morning knob, although it's afternoon now, I believe.
Well, yes, it is.
Because
in the little time warp that is our podcast.
It is indeed. And by the time it's edited down, God knows what there's going to be left and what time of day we're going to between.
That's going to be your job because I don't know anything about that. Sorry. It's true. I wouldn't say I'm technophobe, but I'm a lady of an age, and this whole thing has just passed me by. I don't really understand a lot of modern technology. I was thinking the other day about how we do have like some things in common, but we are very different in our background and that sort of thing. I mean, I was raised sort of very fundamentalist Christian, and obviously many thousands of miles away.
Yes.
And you know, my parents would have utterly despised the idea of being a pantomime dame and those sorts of things. They would not have thought that that was appropriate. And I just think, isn't it wonderful how we as a society have come on so far?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That, you know, my parents would not have associated with people who went almost exactly like they were. And not to say that my mother wasn't utterly wonderful, because she was. Yeah. She was lovely, warm, sweet, lovely lady, very cherished by a lot of people. But she was of her age and time. Yeah. You know? And the world has changed so much now that we will sit around in a group and we will laugh at the fact that some people are transgender. We'll laugh at the fact that some people are disabled. We'll laugh that some of us are parents and struggling with that some of us are unemployed. You know, I tried to make people laugh about my shocking mental health yesterday. Yeah. That worked quite nicely.
Yes, it did.
And, you know, we were talking earlier about laughter being a really good medicine.
Yeah.
I really think it is.
Oh, it is. I think it's comedy in itself has so many benefits. There's the end result that we all hope for, the laughter. That releases the good drugs in the body.
The endorphins.
I can think of the right word.
I can see you seeking for the word.
I was like, which is the right one to use? I know I'll get pulled up on it if I get the wrong one.
I wouldn't be so mean.
If in doubt, it's the good drugs.
The good drugs, yeah.
So you get the endorphins from the laughter. That's great. But also, there's the process for the comedians themselves. Yes. It's such a cathartic process. When I wrote my book, people were saying to me when I was writing it, they were like, oh, it must be so good to get it on paper. I said, it's amazing. I said, every chapter, page, whatever I managed to get down in a night when I sit and write, that's a little bit more weight off me. That's a little bit more off my mind that I feel I've released. And it's exactly the same with comedy. People think of it as jokes. You know, lots of comedians will say to me, oh, have you written any more jokes lately? Any new jokes? I don't write jokes. I write stories that people laugh at.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, we know a story that people laugh at is technically a joke. But I think my thinking is very much knock knock, who's that, whatever, yeah, a joke.
Yes.
a line and a punchline, whatever it may be. Funny stories are jokes, yes, but for me, it just feels different because a lot of the stuff I do is on a very personal level, I suppose, yourself as well, from a different angle. And I think you've got that process there. You've got that cathartic process of writing this down, of addressing the trauma initially and then making light of it.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of comedy, is that we can take that situation. I make light of my own situation, my I hate the phrase, but my journey as such, and I make very light of that, and trying to do it in such a way that helps people understand it, and also gets it off my chest, and I get that rush back off people when they're laughing at my stories. I get that buzz.
I like it when people laugh at the terrible people I've dated.
Yes.
That really does. I mean, it's a form of revenge that I hadn't considered at the time, but it is brilliant.
Strong.
Also because it's true.
Yes.
The things that these people did to me are true. And at the time, not much fun. But when you're telling it afterwards and you refer back to what these people have done, it's brilliant because actually you do see the funny side and it takes the sting out of it. And I'm not a great one for revenge. I don't think some revenge is good. I think it's New York Zoo, one of those, that sort of area, an American zoo.
Yeah.
Has put out a thing where you can name a cockroach after your ex.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that.
And have it fed to a predator.
Amazing. That's just so good, isn't it?
Yeah. And they said now for vegan people, you can have a vegetable named and fed to a creature, which I quite like because, less blood spilled.
Yes.
And I like the fact that, and also you can name a rat. I think it's $500 to name a rat.
Okay.
And have it fed to some sort of rat eating. And I don't really feel comfortable with the idea of a rat dying because I called it after my ex. I feel like I would be responsible in some way for its murder. But nature is cruel. And maybe if the rat was going to die anyway, and it could die symbolically bearing the name of someone who really should be fed to a large boa constrictor, maybe it's justified. I don't know.
This brings up a whole new thing, doesn't it? Voodoo pets.
You've just created a whole new market.
Voodoo pets.
Voodoo pets.
You heard it here first. If I see any of you on Dragon's Den trying to market voodoo pets, I will come after you.
Although we do not in any way condone any form of animal cruelty, just saying.
Or black magic.
I'm okay about the black magic.
Yeah, I'm good with that, actually.
Yeah, but animal cruelty is a definite no-no.
No.
Yeah.
Free range animal sacrifices only.
Well, I feel like the animals need to be allowed to put up a really good fight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that hunting with a sniper rifle is actual hunting.
No.
If you want to go to Africa, and some people do, they want to go to Africa and they want to kill a creature. I feel like you need to go there, you need to take your clothes off and wear nothing but a loincloth so everybody can laugh at your sunburn. And then you need to chase this animal across the savannah and shoot it with a bow and arrow to give it a fighting chance.
Yeah. Or get in there with a knife.
Yeah.
If you're feeling really crazy.
Some people are that crazy. Africa's a good place for them. Yeah.
Well, crazy people in general.
Well, I think ironically, a lot of people will go to Africa and be killed by mosquitoes. And I feel that that's probably a really good way of population control.
Karma.
Yeah, if you want to go over there and be a hunter, be hunted.
You deserve to be eaten by mozzie.
You do. And, there's mozzies the size of Boeing 747s out there. So I may have exaggerated a little bit.
737.
Maybe just a small biplane. Which is intimidating enough, let's face it. It was weird growing up in Africa and the juxtaposition of how my kids grew up. I always shake their shoes out. And they used to say to me, none of the other mums shake their kids' shoes out. Why do you shake your shoes out? And I said, it's for the scorpions. Because you don't want a scorpion in your shoe, do you?
No.
The scorpion doesn't want that.
No.
The shoe doesn't want it. And I certainly don't want it.
No.
So all around, it's just better if you shake a scorpion out your shoe first, isn't it? But there's not a lot of scorpions in the West Midlands, if I'm going to be honest. I never encountered one in a tube.
I've not heard of it being a hotbed for scorpion action.
No, it wasn't. But I still shake their shoes out.
Yeah.
You know? And these are the things that we were taught when we were little. Never get between a hippo and the water, because the hippo calf might be in the water, and a hippo mummy will just cut you in half.
Yeah.
They're quite stroppy, actually. They're like the Karen of the animal kingdom.
Hippos are great, aren't they?
Well, I look like one, so I'm happy to.
You by no means resemble
I don't know. You should see me from the back.
Is there nothing at this point?
But I don't have as impressive teeth. You know, and I'm not a herbivore. You know, I'm no good at it.
That's the beauty of hippos, isn't it? The fact that they're herbivores, but they will tear humans apart if they're in the way, just because they're so hateful.
Yes, and they will fight a crocodile. And I think anything that will fight a crocodile and win has got a definite, that's a positive mark in my book. Yeah.
Another great one, actually, it's going right, David Attenborough on this. Honey badgers.
Yes.
The videos of honey badgers fighting lions.
They're just angry.
Oh, my God.
Why are they so cross?
Angry.
Who hurt you, little guys?
I've seen, like, was it 2 or 3 lions on one honey badger? The honey badger was doomed. But he refused to admit it was doomed, you know?
Yeah. I've had colleagues like that, to be fair.
Well, yeah. I've had mornings like that, if I'm honest with you. If you don't get my coffee in me quick enough, I tell you.
Noted.
I will bite people's faces.
Wow.
I won't, really. I've never yet bitten a face off.
Because the coffee's always been...
Oh, they've got coffee.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this is an important method of mood management.
Yes.
You put the coffee down, you back away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee, cigarette, run.
I'm not good at running. But I'm good at coffee.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, so I feel like the safety net is...
Yeah.
It's like a shark net.
Yes, yeah.
Well, it's not in the ocean, and it doesn't catch sharks.
But otherwise...
And it's not a net.
But otherwise...
In all other respects, coffee is exactly like a shark net.
In the way that you are the absolute twin of Petit Bear Biscuit.
Yes.
As discussed last episode.
Yes, except not square, not a biscuit, and with no flat surfaces.
Exactly.
At all. Yes. Yes.
Well, great comparisons coming to a podcast soon.
We're good at comparing things. That's going to obviously be one of our strengths.
Absolutely. I think we're working on those strengths. As we said earlier about videoing your sets, you know, podcasting, you've got to video it and watch it back while editing and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And if we watch enough of these and make enough bad ones, one day we might make a good one.
I think that we should aspire to this.
We should.
Yes, we should.
Talking of which, aspirations, our latest viewership, and this is only on YouTube at the moment. Other platforms will be invaded before long. But our latest episode has, at last count, had nearly 50 viewers.
Okay.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, may not sound much. But for us,
it is 50 more than we had the week before.
Oh no, we had 27 or 28 the week before.
Oh, so we've doubled our viewership.
That was with terrible sound quality.
Yeah.
And they still came back in the hope that it wouldn't be so terrible.
Did you watch it 36 times yourself?
Not this time. I actually cheat. I've got the
you do have the original, so
on my laptop, so it was just easier to watch that. Realistically, I should have watched it on YouTube and got the views up, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'm sure.
No, because this way we can parade our integrity.
Absolutely,
in front of our 50 viewers.
We can virtue signal like a mother.
Yes, we can. I think we should.
Yes.
But I think we are actually also virtuous. So, despite the stuff we said earlier,
We are. I think we are very, very virtuous.
we've no murderous plans.
No, none.
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 Nothing fraudulent.
No.
Not thieving anything today.
Not today, no. I
No.
wouldn't give that a miss.
Well, with that then, shall we wish
think-
everybody a wonderful week?
I think we should. Hope you all have a wonderful week.
Oh, that was nicely done.
Have we got anything exciting coming up? Quick sign out of exciting
There's
things.
something on the 1st. What are we doing on the 1st?
Oh, we're down in Exmouth on the 1st.
We are down in
We are down in
Exmouth.
Exmouth at Squawker's Comedy at the Bootlegger.
Mm.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm at the Black Mountains Comedy Festival tonight. Don't know why I'm plugging it. It's sold out. Sorry, guys. The Ship-In in Barry tomorrow night. Saturday, I'm at the Newport Comedy Festival.
Nice.
4:00 show at the Murringer. I've got Craig McLeod and I've got Olivia Green warming the audience up for me, and then I'm going to bore them senseless with my hopefully about an hour-long show, which will hopefully be entertaining.
Yeah, sounds like there's going to be cuddling, just in case you didn't know that that's how it came across.
There can always be cuddling. I always have room for cuddling.
Good, good.
I am a hugger. We all know that.
We do know this.
And yeah, then on to next week. Madness that will ensue. I'm off to Manchester.
Yes.
Monday. I've got Meet the
Nice.
Frog on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Didn't know that.
I've booked a cheap travel lodge.
It is a horrible
I'm damned
drive.
if I'm driving back.
Good for you.
So, yes. On that note, she's been Ava.
She's been Abby.
And we are Absolute Savages. Until next time, yours savagely. Good night.
Cool.
Oh my God, that wasn't an expected TED talk. Shit.